On the news tonight, ahead Monday's school's resumption, the government ramps up operations of free shuttle buses. On the residents tax relevant authorities on growing population of child beggars. Federal government alert 13 northern states to heavy rainfall. And from the foreign scene, UN condemns Libya warning systems amid massive loss of life in
Good evening and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. Be your to be private school 2023-2024 academic session on Monday. Special on Ugunleye said no fewer than 70 buses will take students to and through their schools across the state, while noting that the scheme has been extended to other towns in the state, among which transportation is equally provided in this area of the state. This goes on Akure on the state draws near concerns they could for the new which can
The resumption of students to a new academic session is generally something students, parents, and stakeholders look forward to. The commencement of new school sessions demands the necessity of students for effective performance in school. And stakeholders level of new school on Monday in Ondo State. Women at Ojoba markets who complained about the challenges being experienced in the nation's economy on a that it affected resumption preparation, especially for those who have many children.
Being in the markets, we are not even selling because since the parents are preparing for the resumption of the students, so we are not selling anything. The book, this book aspect alone is not going area. So we plead for the government to just help us to solve our problems.
Parents, while bemoaning the hike in the price of educational material required for resumption, appeal to the government to side of education.
ọ̀rọ̀ ìjòkó ó háì. bá a ṣe máa ràwé àwọn ọmọ lọ́tún lọ́sì gbogbo yẹn là ń sá eré ẹ̀ ń sìn mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kí ìjọba dẹ̀ tún ràn àwa náà lọ́wọ́ torí because àwọn òbí wa àtàwọn dádì wa àtàwọn mọ́mì wa gbogbo wa à ń gbìyànjú pé nípa eré tá à ń sáǹsìn ká lè ra ìwé dẹ̀ wọ́n everything costs.
However, an intending Year 7 student, David Olaleye, who mentioned that his parents have provided everything needed to resume the new section, said he was fully prepared to resume.
Inú mi dùn tí mo lọ sí kíláàsì tuntun. I've arranged my box and everything. My parents bought all the prospectus.
Dealers in educational resources said price inflation has led to the decline in the sales of learning resources, while noting that teachers have hijacked the sale of books and other learning resources from them.
The patronage is very, very low, and this is very obvious. Everybody knows the reason. The money is not there, subsidy issue and everything together. The patronage is very, very low. So the parents, they don't have the money to buy the books, and the prices of goods are so high.
Àwọn tíṣà, àwọn olùkọ́, wọ́n ti gbaṣẹ́ wa lọ́wọ́ wa. Tí ò dẹ̀ yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nítorí pé gbogbo ẹ̀tọ́ tó yẹ ká san sápò ìjọba là ń san. À ń san tax, à ń san owó signage, a dẹ̀ ń san owó internal revenue. Ṣùgbọ́n báyìí ibi tá a ti mú owó tá a ti fi ń san fún ìjọba, àwọn olùkọ́ wọ́n ti gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. Àwọn tíṣà yẹn wọ́n ti páàkì ẹ̀jọ́ síbẹ̀ ti JS1 ti JS2 ti JS3.
They have, however, called on government to intervene to save their businesses. A large percentage of the populace revealed their unpreparedness for the new school session. Finfoluwa Olaleye, Osrc News.
And now back to the story on the free shuttle bus. The Ondo State government says all is set for free shuttle bus to begin operations as public and private schools resume for the 2023-2024 academic session on Monday. The special advisor to the Governor of Transportation, Mr. Toby Muleye, said no fewer than 70 buses will take students to and fro their schools across the state, while noting that the scheme has been extended to other towns in the state, among which are Oda, Oka, and Ibarauke towns. Mr. Muleye said free transportation has equally been provided for students in the riverine area of the state.
Free shuttle, free between now, that is September, to December. So we've extended the gesture to the people on the riverine. So we are supplying them with free shuttle boats for students on the water too. So already we've procured and acquired about 1,500 life jackets. Safety is of importance to us. So we've dedicated about 200 for the students. We are not giving them to take home on our boats. So we have 10 boats. So we've released about 20 life jackets. So the remaining 1,300 will be distributed to the boat operators in the riverine. Also, paddle and other things. So we are prepared for the student. About 60-65 will be on the road now because we can't be in a hurry. Safety is of importance. Your Minister of Transport, we're in charge of making our vehicle to be roadworthy. I'm not talking of every vehicle. We are shuttle with this responsibility to certify all vehicles to be roadworthy. If the vehicle that we are giving to the student are not roadworthy, so I don't think we will be justified to more certified. So we are working on it.
In the meantime, as tertiary institutions across the country begin a new session next week, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, parents and students have protested the hike in fees by some of parents and students warned about the likelihood of mass dropouts of students following the hikes in fees by the universities across the country. The union was worried about the developments, just as apprehensive parents expressed concerns over the implication of a fee hike for their children in wards in public tertiary institutions. The national president, ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, frowned on the fee increases, noting that the university is not a profit-making commercial center. The management of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, had announced a new school fee regime on Wednesday, while the same scenario was observed at the University of Benin, where new fees had been introduced by the management for full-time undergraduate courses for the 2023 academic session, including Unilag and unit jobs. Still on education, the president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Osrc, Professor Emmanuel Osrc, Osrc said it is clearly stated in the Constitution that the federal government must fund public universities. He was reacting to a report where the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, was quoted to have said that the federal government will initiate new ways of funding tertiary education by granting full autonomy to universities to explore new sources of financing their activities. While Osrc remained cautious about speculating on the government's intentions, he noted that if the law is followed to run university operations without any interference from bureaucrats, there would be little to worry about in terms of funding. He added that if Nigeria commits greater allocation to education than Europe are doing, the universities will have enough funds to run its activities. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. We'll take a commercial break now. When we come back, Olowo unveils activities marking 2023 Igogo Festival. Do stay with us.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Coffee! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I did beat you guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Capture Channel Osrc TV Ondo. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has attributed fire outbreak to the nationwide blackout in Nigeria. Giving details of what led to the development on his Facebook page, the ministry explained that a fire outbreak at Kanji Jeba, located in the north central, caused the blackout. Adelabu said the fire outbreak led to a sharp drop in frequency. He assured Nigerians that speedy restoration is in progress, adding that the fire has been fully arrested and over half of the connections are now up. Meanwhile, reports have confirmed that the national electricity grid had been fixed and power supply restored to consumers. The Court of Appeal Abuja has set aside the judgment by the National and State Houses of Assembly Election Tribunal in Asaba, which declared Ndidi Elumelu of the People's Democratic Party PDP the appellate court declared Ngozi Okoli of the Labour Party as winner of the election. It faulted the tribunal for voiding Okoli's election and proceeded to dismiss the petition filed by Elumelu before the trial tribunal, and on which the voided judgment was given. The court agreed with counsel to the Labour Party, Mahmoud Magaji, that contrary to the finding of the tribunal, Okoli was duly nominated and sponsored by his party, and that he resigned his appointment as a senior special assistant to Delta State government as required by the Constitution. Education
Increasing numbers of beggars in Akure, the Ondo State capital, irredeemable. The mendicants keep flocking into the state capital. Strategic have witnessed an increase in these activities of the country, especially the northern region that has experienced mass exodus of their citizens due to insecurity. Executive Secretary Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence, Bolanle Afolabi, spoke on what has led to increased street begging and the stand of the law.
The law prohibits abandonment of children or spouse, whether a wife or a husband or any other dependent, unlawfully without any justification and without any means of sustenance. So if you abandon your child or you abandon a dependent, somebody is looking up to you for daily sustenance, and without any means of taking care of that child, you have run foul of the law, and especially section 17 of the VAP law prohibits abandonment of children. We said our children are the future of tomorrow, but children who are abandoned, begging on the streets, you see them becoming and at the end of the day, they become armed robbers, they become rapists, they become all sorts of things with, effects.
We need to put face to the law. Now let's do more of sensitization. Let's do more of public enlightenment. Let the parents, let them be aware of the danger that is inherent in having their children to hawk. At this time, we have in Nigeria. Like I said, organ harvesting is the in thing now. Whether you are young or old, what people do these days to make money is to harvest organs. That is what they do these days to make money. And so we need to enlighten parents. We need to talk to parents so that they can be aware.
Through for rehabilitation, speaking through the acting permanent secretary of the ministry, Tokpa Lebile, Ondo State government said it is collaborating with the federal government to the future.
The state government is into a program called At-Risk Children Program. This program is majorly targeted picking off vulnerable children off the streets to discourage begging. This program, we have people that we call that are trained. They are called farmers. They are spread across all the wards in the state. The job of this facilitator is to help us identify vulnerable children, orphans and school children, and street children. We identify them, gather them, and give them a kind of need.
Firstly,
report by Clario. The lot of activities to mark the annual Igugu Festival of the Owo people has been held. The Olowo for Oba Ajibade Ogunwoye during a press conference held in Owo. The pattern for the 2023 annual Igugu Festival also unveiled other complementary events including Arts and Beauty Pageant, Igugu Festival Market, rich culture or
took Ondo State on the activities lined up for the 2023 Igogo Fest in the community. To celebrate the achievements of the past years and pray for the future progress. Of the Olowo hinted that complementary activities such as Oronshin beauty pageant, Igogo Fest, where the of the be repackaged for the world to see.
The essence of today is to let the world know that we are not only
cultural heritage organization is to identify with aspects of the Owo people, evaluate them, and improve on to meet the 21st century standard.
And we have our music scene, deep cultural heritage that we have in it. The of this is to identify diverse areas and to improve on them.
Activities year conventions, patients reload in Akure, the state capital, 15th to the 18th of September this year. For 3 years owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the Jehovah's Witnesses, will now resume in full measure as 2023 marks the first large gathering event since the lifting of the pandemic restriction. Spokesman for Jehovah's Witnesses, Gil Adekombi, said about 6,000 conventions will be held worldwide as part of the 2023 convention. Mr. Adekombi said Nigeria alone will host 320 conventions in 39 cities and will explore the quality of patience and its relevance to modern-day society, adding that patience is a beautiful quality that all Christians must display in their daily lives.
Fell in just 24 hours. It was engulfed by flood after 2 low washed ashore by the dozens. the body of a child is recovered from the rubble, few here are being found alive. Dana and Libya are overwhelmed. It's too much for those left grieving.
I already lost 6 people. We managed to take out 3 and we did not find the other 3 people. We're searching for the bodies here. We could not find.
There has long been a conflict and 2 rivals functioning. This hospital in Al-Baida is struggling, deep in water and flooded with casualties, and for medical staff, it's all too much.
This is a catastrophe from God. We've lost families. The figures are massive.
International help is on the way. These planes are from Jordan, but with many of the roads to get through. Is Libya today?
70 houses students with 4 academic begins. Authority residents have raised concerns over rising activities of child beggars on the streets of Akure, the state capital. The federal government has alerted 13 northern states to heavy rainfall and has urged them to take precautionary measures to avert flood disaster. And from the foreign scene, we informed you that 20,000 people are feared dead in the devastating Libya floods. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Good night.